Hi, welcome back to Latin Guitar Mastery. I'm Sergio, and today I'm going to do a guitar tutorial on Malagueña, or Malagueña, as they say in Spain. And this is a very popular Spanish dance form, also found in South America. So I recently did a video of the full performance, which you can watch on the link above. Now I will share sheet music and tabs on the screen, but if you'd like to download the score or have access to an interactive play-along track which allows you to slow the score down and really get stuck into the detail, you can join LGM members on the link above. So let's get stuck in. So we start this piece with a 4-bar phrase, which is essentially what the Malagueña is, and let's just play through that. Okay, so usually with the Malagueña, it's got this bass arpeggio and melody, which happens either usually in that spot and it's almost always in E. So the Malagueña is almost always in E and it's always in 3/4. So let's just play through that again a little bit slower. So we've got an E chord underneath for the first 2 bars. So you're going to have to stretch E, G sharp, B, that arpeggio in E, while you maintain that first finger. So that's the first challenge. Then we move to A minor and A in the bass. So the way I do it is I finger it with the 1 and 3. Because you're going to have to play A, C, B, A, G, F. Now if you do it like this, then you're going to have to shift the second finger up. So I just usually go straight to there. 1 and 3, like that. And then the final F, you actually play an F chord. So I bar that down. Okay. Now if you struggle with that bar in context, in that speed, you can just keep it. You could probably get away with that, which sounds quite Spanish still. So that's the first 4 bars. Then we're going to repeat that, but rather than playing a block chord, we're playing IMA arpeggio. Like that. So that pattern will become easier to you. If you're an intermediate player, you should be able to do that reasonably easily. Don't try and go too fast because it can get very uneven very quickly. So a really solid tempo is very important. And of course with Spanish music, especially with dances like this, we need to maintain a very strict rhythm. We've done the next 4 bars and we just finish on an E chord, like that. Next section is more of a descending Andalusian cadence or Spanish cadence, where we're going to go G, A minor, G, F, E in an arpeggio style. Okay, so we're going like that. Now that's not in 3/4, so I'll play it in 3/4. And I just try and keep the chords as sustained as possible. So try not to remove fingers, especially when you're going for that 3rd beat. Okay, now the next part, we have a little melody in the bass, so we're going to play that either with the thumb, or you can, I find with the fingers a little quicker, a little easier to play, but I alternate between the two depending on, I alternate between either, usually when I'm playing. So start off with the thumb, so we're going to go hammer, pull off, pull off. Now that's not mandatory, you can always, I usually tend to play it without the slurs, but the slurs are there if you want to do them. Then we've got an A minor, and then we've got the same thing starting on B, like that. I kind of prefer to play it all plucked, except for the first one. Then we go E, back to the E on the 4th string, and then we have thirds, A, C, B, D, C, E, and then a triplet, quavers, so da 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 da. Okay, so we just need to maintain the tempo there. Like that, and then the chord, E chord. Okay, so that's the next part. It kind of moves around from A minor, E, and then F, E. That's kind of the underlying harmony there. We're going to continue with descending. We go back to a descending Andalusian cadence. This time we're going to play it almost like an arpeggio, but it's a sort of two-finger arpeggio. So little triplets. G, F, 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 E. Really keeping those bass notes crisp and projecting. Okay. The next part is an E to E, E to F kind of arpeggio pattern. So we're going to go. So the right hand, the thumb is going, and the fingers are going. Put them together and you get. And then simply move that E chord up. We go back. And again, that's quite a Spanish, that very, idiosyncratic Spanish sound. All right, we move to the next section, and the melody jumps around between the first string and the sixth string. So we're going to go, which is, you could also strum that. Then we go, and then. So this is a D, C, B over an E chord, all right? Arpeggio, descending bass, and then we go A minor, same as before with that fingering. The thing is, when you're going, you'll notice that the E's still ringing. You may or may not want to dampen that, especially when you play the C and you've still got the E going. So I definitely try and dampen that, and then I'll dampen it. And then that's just repeated. The second time when you repeat it, we can alternate it. We can create some variation by rolling the chords. So sometimes the damping I just do with the side of my thumb, like that. Sometimes I do it with this finger here. Okay, then we keep going. Now we go back to our descending Andalusian cadence, this time with little triplets in the melody. Then we're going to go with a pull off there. All right, so that's a little tricky, but not that difficult if you're an intermediate player. All right, then the next section we're going to continue with this descending A minor pattern. This time we are doing a proper tremolo. So we're going P, I do it A, M, I, which is a little different to the flamenco, which has, I think the flamenco is I, M, A, M. So you could play the tremolo either like, or you could go. But I'm going to stick to what's in the score, and P, A, M, I. So a little half bar on A minor. This is a G7, F7, E7. Repeat. Of course, because the first beat is the thumb note, you really want to make sure you get that one down first. And then you can put the rest of the fingers down. Okay, now we continue. We go to a D, a sort of a D minor. Kind of a little trill there. A little bit tricky there with the stretch with the C being held down. And then pretty easy kind of melody. It's a fairly easy melody, but you pull off the first one. Let's continue. E arpeggio strum, F arpeggio triplets. So that's probably the trickiest bit. Or you could just give it a little strum there. Back to our bass melody. So that was a return to that theme. Now we go to a little bit of a higher position. This is fourth position. We're playing E, and then so I think in the video that I performed it in, I actually played it. I just do it all like that. Hammer, pull. I do a hammer, hammer, pull off, pull off. But you can opt to play each of the four semiquavers by plucking the first one, which actually sounds better. Then we just move it up to the fifth position. It's quite a fun part, and it sounds kind of flashy, but it's not that difficult once you know how to do that. Sounds a little bit like Thunderstruck. So it's actually a really good exercise for your right hand. Pull off hammer-ons. All right, so we've just done that that section, and then we go back to the Malagueña. This time we're doing it with the tremolo, which is actually really common. And we're doing it starting on the fourth string. Now, this is going to start moving up in sixths. And then we go back to our I usually do a little speeding up here. E chord, and then basically playing this E Phrygian scale as fast as you can. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, which is a triplet. Thumb up, fingers down, thumb down, thumb up, fingers down, thumb up. So that's basically a triplet, which I might talk about in future videos. Let me know if you'd like to work on that technique. Hope you enjoy working on that famous Malagueña, and let me know if you have any challenges. As I mentioned previously, you can join LGM members and get a little bit more resources and help on my blog. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and consider subscribing to get more Latin guitar lessons like this one, and I'll see you guys next time.